Due to the recent zombie outbreaks that has wiped out the world's population of politicians, stockbrokers, and CEOs, the DCC Disease Control Center discovered that it was not their lying, self-absorbed pea brains the zombies were after, but their sad, rigid brains, has issued the following public service announcement. Play. Yes, play. When we play, no matter what we play, we engage each part of the triune brain in different ways and amounts, depending on what we play. What is the triune brain, you may ask? The triune brain theory is a concept created by Paul MacLean, stating that the human brain, through evolution, is in fact 3 brains in one. The reptilian complex, being the first to develop, is mainly responsible for the control of the body's vital functions such as heart rate, breathing, body temperature, and balance. The limbic system, which developed in the first mammals, it is responsible for all of our emotions and emotional responses. It accomplishes this by remembering our agreeable and disagreeable experiences, which we go throughout our lives. Finally, the neocortex. Being comprised of the 2 large cerebral hemispheres, it plays a dominant role in making us humans. It is responsible for language, imagination, the development of human culture, art, and being self-aware. Play is the one activity that truly uses all parts of the brains, working out all 3 parts in such an enjoyable way that we want to do it. The more we work out our brains, the happier we become, becoming more optimistic and successful in love, work, and life itself. What proof is there to this? It would seem that students that are rated among the best achievers receive short breaks every 15 minutes just to play. Studies with rats have shown that rats that live a life filled with play had bigger, thicker brains. They were smarter and healthier overall. Which is why play is so important in our lives. The more we play, the happier we become, and the more we want to play. When we play, we experience the world in a fun and enjoyable way. We engage ourselves in activities that become rewarding, all the while learning from those experiences. Our brains then remold itself with these new learned experiences, creating new connections and pathways. This is called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the ability of our brains to adapt to new experiences while making it possible to include those new experiences into who we are. Our brains are always creating new pathways, changing and remolding itself with our involvement in the world and day-to-day activities. The more we reinforce these new pathways, the more dominant they become in our brains, which can be either positively or negatively incorporated into our personality. We can help to keep our brain's plasticity through things like PERMA. PERMA is an acronym of the 5 elements that happens when a person is doing something that are crucial for a person's well-being, created by a Dr. Martin Seligman, a professor of psychology. Those elements are positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning, and accomplishments. The simple act of having to try to create PERMA with our actions can and will boost a person's state of well-being or happiness. It becomes easy to achieve a greater sense of happiness with PERMA once you notice that those elements are the same elements we experience when we play. The key to our well-being is to play, to be able to let go of that image of a stuffy, straight-laced adult that thinks responsibilities are meant to be boring and not finding enjoyment in those responsibilities. With PERMA and play, we can get into a state of flow. Flow is a concept created by Mila. Sorry about that. That we go into when we are so focused on a creative activity, we lose all sense of the world around us. When we are in a flow, our experiences are optimized. We are alert and effortless control of the situation and are at the peak of our abilities. A flow-like state happens when we have control over our own consciousness and not allowing external forces to dictate the outcome. Notice how, like with PERMA, flow has basically the same properties as play. Happiness happens when we make it happen, not by willing ourselves to be happy, but by taking steps like PERMA to reach a state of flow. This can be done by simply playing around. It could be a game, sport, or other activity that you really enjoy and are good at. In no time at all, you will experience a state of flow, discovering that when you are happy at that moment, the rest of your life is happier as well. You may ask yourself, how does this apply to me? Well, it's pretty simple. We are all humans and we all have a brain that is made to play. We instinctively want to play from the time we are born to the day we die, yet for some reason we reach a point in our lives where we try to suppress those instincts. But even with outside influences telling us to reject our natural behaviors, we can still adapt and learn that play is a normal and healthy part of our lives at any age. By improving one's happiness through play, we become more successful. Our whole life we play to learn and how to be more successful. As an adult, we think the opposite of success is play. Happiness and well-being is the key to life, love, and success. And the key to happiness and our well-being is play. Now, think back to when you felt the happiest for yourself and no one else was around. I bet it was when you were younger and when you were playing around. That is why play is a part of us, why we need to play at work, home, and everywhere else. Play is what makes us happy, smarter, and most of all, play makes us human. In closing, the DCC would like to point out that even if they are wrong, at least when the zombies eat our brains, we will be happy.